Okay, so today we're going to talk a little bit about the sun in the tarot. So overall, the sun is representing that universal life force energy where all of your desires and your creative abilities and that energy is made manifest into the physical world. This is where you have finally attained that inner satisfaction and it's being made manifest on the outside. So this is basically the perfect representation of a balance between the polarities of the masculine and feminine energy at work here. It's the receptive and inactive energy, the inactive and active energy, like the anima and the animus, okay? This also represents Tiphareth on the tree of life, which is the center of that tree, and that combines all the other forces on the outside of the tree. And this is where everything is brought together and harmonized and manifests. It's basically all of your life experiences brought out into the external part of the material world. Your spiritual and mental clarity have been activated. So those things are a representation of your life experiences. It's a powerful harmonization of all of those life experiences that you've had thus far, basically. And with that life experience comes its own set of challenges. But since you've come from the lower part of the tree, Izad, into Tiphareth, which is represented by the sun, Izad is the moon. So you can look at this as coming from that dark night of the soul energy and using those experiences as to gain awareness and a better understanding of your current life circumstances. These are stepping stones into evolution on your own path. So the reason I wanted to speak about the sun card today in regards to the tree of life is because we are each on our own path and all of us are brought here for a unique set of life experiences. And the thing is, everyone is going to view life completely differently. You can look at the sun card and use this as an example of, okay, I've gathered all of this life experience and I've used this for my growth. Or you can look at it from a shadow aspect, which would be more of the negatives, in a sense that you've used this to inflate your ego and actually have not truly activated your consciousness and awareness in a way that is beneficial to mankind, but more self-serving energy. And what I mean by that in the shadow aspect is more of like a inflated sense of self, the ego. You feel like you are better than others for this life experience, and you probably are lacking that inner compass and self-awareness, and you probably have not looked back on the things that have actually brought you to this place. So basically, depending where you are on your path, you can see this from two different parts of this polarity pole. You can use this to manifest your desires. You can use this to better elevate yourself in a way that is beneficial, or you can use this as a more mundane tool that will not help you on your evolutionary path, but more satisfy a temporary ego benefit. And that will really keep you stuck. And this is where I want to get back into the topic of learning your core values, getting to know yourself, especially in regards to relationship. Because when you look back at this card again, you see a couple here. It, as I would say, is in that polarity aspect of the anima, the animus, the inactive and active energies coming together to form a perfect balance. And the thing is, when that balance is attained, you're able to see a much broader picture and a reality that is manifest in your day-to-day life. So when we finally reach the place of the sun on the tree of life, the Tiphareth, what you are really in reality saying is like you're accepting everything that you have overcome through the lower parts of the tree, through the moon, the introspection. You've done the introspective work, the shadow work, the healing, and now you're allowing yourself to have that experience of this blissful joy and all of the things that are manifest from those life experiences. But on the other end, as I said before, if you're not actually integrating those past traumas and wounds and those experiences that have actually they're supposed to be used to help you grow and develop on a deeper level, then this can lead to ego inflation, where you're only looking at things from a very surface level perspective. And a good example I would use for this from my own personal experiences, say that you want the experience to travel and try something new in life. You want a different life experience, but you have to understand, like, where is that coming from? Why is it that you want to achieve or accomplish these things? Is it from the ego's perspective of um wanting to basically show the world, like, what are you capable of, or is this something that you would like to achieve based on your own personal ideas and life experience? Do you want to achieve these things in order to elevate and grow for yourself? Do you want to experience these things on a level that is actually going to challenge you and benefit you in such a way that most people probably would not understand? Or is it just to have this experience to show people, okay, this is what I'm doing, and gain that outward validation, basically? So this is a thing I see often due to mass indoctrination, basically, is that a lot of people in the world tend to view life in a certain way due to mass programming. And what I mean by that is you think of one place automatically off the top of your head that is basically shown to us through the media or whatever it is about let's say, for example, France or Italy. Like, these are two countries that are often televised the most, and they show us, okay, travel to these countries, they're beautiful, you can have this experience, that experience, but have you ever thought about why? It's something I talk about sometimes to people because it's a thing I think a lot of us don't really understand. We look at this as very, I don't know, not so obvious. But just coming from my experience, I have lived and traveled abroad and worked abroad over the last 10 years. And this has given me the experience to see the way other cultures interact and the way the mindset is. And unfortunately, we've been programmed to see things in a different way. But it's not a bad thing, of course, to have this life experience, but you have to ask yourself the reasons behind them. What is motivating you to have these new life experiences? Because they can be beneficial as well. I do mention sometimes that it is good to actually change your environment, but understand also that from what I've experienced is each place in the world has its own energetic frequency, and it's literally like stepping in through a portal every time you change location and enter into a new space. You have to understand, are you a vibratory match to this energy of the place? Because there are different spirits of the land, spirits of the place. The energy as a whole is completely different. And you may start to think and interact differently if you are not grounded within your own system and within your own beliefs. So it's really important, I think, to really get to know yourself and understand the motivations behind the desire to move somewhere. And I feel this can also come from a place of even past life experiences as well. There are a lot of people that are drawn to certain locations and find out later that they've had past lives in a specific location. For example, they've had deja vu, etc. And I've experienced this myself as well. So it's really interesting. But just really think about your motivations behind doing something before making a decision such as travel or moving, because this could actually greatly impact your life in such a way that you may not have been aware of. Anyway, getting back to the sun. I would just say utilize this energy of this card right now to really, I guess, look at the positives also, coming out from a place of introspection and understanding that the energies always change. You know, what goes up must come down. There's always going to be an energetic balance. And it's really about your level of awareness and that understanding of universal law. So, just try to remember that even when things feel uncertain at times, they always end up balancing on the scales regardless. And just kind of try to see the best in whatever situation you may be in right now. And the wheel of fortune is turning. That's kind of all I want to say. So.